Those three Garcias.
I'm thinking of things.
Jeff Garcia. Yeah.
Groucho Garcia. Jerry
Garcia. Jerry Garcia. Yeah, that's what
Jerry Garcia.
Jerry Garcia.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, will you pull that camera that away about 7 inches?
Yeah, so we're doing the election 5 to 6.
There you go. Thank you, sir.
Are we okay directionally?
Yeah, I reckon. I tell you what, if I ever go to Canada, England, or back in time, I'm gonna have a lot of money to buy.
Yeah. Google. Yeah. It's a little hard to listen to tonight. It's a little distorted.
Who said that?
Nobody. He said, should I talk louder tonight?
Yeah.
Should I speak up?
Yeah,
And I said, you
good.
don't understand. If I talk louder, he talks louder.
Who?
You.
Me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it's just a battle, and
Yeah.
then it's going to get distorted, and then they're
That's
going
right.
to complain that it's distorted. How's it look? Is it-
Great. Hey, everybody, this is Matt. We're at Texas Toast Guitars. Thanks for tuning in to our live stream, Hour of Power, sandwiched perfectly in between Ike and Dylan from Flipside Music, the great American guitar store, and Dylan and Leslie McCurchie from Dylan Pickups, Dylan Talks Tone, Makeup and Mascara. Chris, how in the heck are you?
I'm doing great, Matt. Does this make it louder? This is my new reverb
Maybe you need
box.
to get up.
Hey, everybody. Hey, everybody. It's your good pal, Chris.
So that's a present from our good friend Gary Redburn.
Yeah. It's a reverb. It's got a spring in there. I just like doing this.
It's cool. Yeah. So we have a shop full of people today, and we're getting ussies with them, and it's super cool. Hey,
wait, take one more.
I gotta tell you,
Don't take it.
Chris, those guitars look so good.
They really do.
So
I'm really proud of myself.
I think you should.
No, I'm proud of everybody in the class, actually.
So, the paint work is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
All the guitars are so I mean, I know what they're going to look like tomorrow because you painted everything and got them finished, and I know what they're going to look like. They're going to look great. But what's more is the guy's fretwork looks like $1 million.
I had zero to do with that, and so I came in. At the
They
end
all
of the
had. They
day
did everything.
and felt them, and it was like, wow,
Yeah.
these are nice.
Yep, they did a good job.
Yep.
So and not just like one guy either. Everybody did
Oh, really?
a really.
I only
excellent
felt
job.
one neck, but you told me that, so I'm going to go with that.
Yep. And know how I know?
Because you
Because
felt them all.
they all came up to me and were like, "Hey, look at this one! Look at this one! Look at this one!" They all look terrific. So yeah. So I am very excited to show off what everyone has by this time tomorrow. Do you anticipate any issues? With
Absolutely, yes.
you
100%.
always should. Yeah. You
I
always should.
Yeah. It's this week has gone so fast. And I
Yeah.
keep thinking that we have one more day. I think because the last 2 classes we've done have been 7-day
7
classes.
days. Yeah.
And I just keep forgetting. Yeah, today's Thursday. Tomorrow's the last day. You know? And I got up this morning. I was like, man, we are so money on this deal.
Mhm.
And then I went, wait, yeah.
But necks are done. Frets look, like I said, like $1 million. Nuts are roughed in, ready for slots and final fine tuning. I mean, there's a bunch of little stuff to do tomorrow.
Yeah.
But I have no illusions that they won't be done. I just wonder how much you and I will have to do. Not very much, I bet.
I hope not.
So, you know why? Because we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 Telecasters,
Mm-hmm.
and one that's mostly a Telecaster.
Uh-huh.
1 5-string bass, that's a wild card, and 1 Strat.
Uh-huh.
The
But
bass is
let's just be honest, he's on his own from here on out.
from here on out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
With
all bets are off.
all those switches and knobs and
Eh.
wiring and all that.
Yeah,
He's got that under control on his own.
I guarantee you, it's gonna look great.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. No, they're gonna look and sound great. So, but man, I forget how much fun I have at these workshops where the Build a Classic Fender, because that's what this is.
Mm-hmm. I think it's my favorite class. To be
How do
honest.
you think? What do you anticipate build a $9,000 Strat is going to be like? Because we've never done that one before.
No, I'm hoping that might be my new favorite class,
Mm-hmm.
or that it's at least this good.
Lots of friends of the shop
Yeah,
and personal friends are going to that workshop.
yeah, it's going to be different because the whole schedule is completely different.
Yeah.
All the wood stuff is going to be done by day one.
Yeah.
And so from then on, it's just paint nerdery and
Fret
nerdery.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
yeah, that'll be fun. I'm supposed to speak up. I keep forgetting.
Use your microphone.
Okay, go ahead. I don't think it helps.
It might be worse than hell.
Yeah, it echoes right back into my mouth.
Yeah. It's fun.
Hey, good looking. Be
but-
back to pick you up later.
So, Chris, I don't know. We haven't talked about what I want. You and I have not talked much today at all, but even though we're in the same building,
That's because you pissed me off yesterday.
I don't think I did. I've been on my best behavior. Of all the people I've pissed off this week, you are not one of them. I don't think
we were just separate today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing that I wanted to say was I haven't told you about what we're talking about tonight in the live stream.
No, you haven't.
So I wanted to talk a little bit about all of the kooky features that guitars have that people are like, how's come they have that? You know? And the thumbnail doesn't have the word dick on it.
Ooh.
But it does have a picture of a Fender reverb circuit on. I believe it's a Jazzmaster. The fact of the matter is, I
rhythm
don't.
circuit.
Yeah. What did I say?
You said
Reverb.
reverb circuit.
I meant
was getting
rhythm
excited
circuit.
there for a second.
Yeah.
All right, reverb.
I meant rhythm circuit, but it's a close up of the rhythm circuit, and I'm pretty sure it's a Jazzmaster.
Okay.
The fact of the matter is, I didn't really.
You don't really care.
No, I don't really
Yeah.
care.
Could be a Jag, and then we could talk about the dumb mute that they came with.
Well, all right. So what I want to talk about today is some of the kind of kooky features that come on guitars. I want to start with a kooky feature that comes on our guitar because it's come up a lot. And that is, let me get one. So on our Challenger model, whether you buy the most expensive one or the most affordable one, all of our Challengers have this feature right here. Now, for those of you driving home and listening in your car, this feature right here that I'm referring to is this small amount of wood in between the neck and the edge of the body.
On the cutaway side.
On the cutaway side. So it effectively makes the cutaway like, I don't know, 3/16 smaller, or adds 3/16 of material onto the neck side of the cutaway. Am I saying that right, you think?
Yeah, I think so.
So for those of you who are watching, it's this piece right here. Now, a lot of people have said, why do you have that?
What's the deal?
What's the deal? I can't imagine that I would be able to get to all of this access where I need to be able to go right here. Well, as you can see, going here is really no big shake, regardless of how you're playing. Quite frankly, the heel is in the way on any guitar way more than this little piece on the neck side of the cutaway is. But there's a very good reason to have this on here. One is it allows you to have a much more sturdy neck joint. So if you can imagine, if you've ever pulled these screws off or even loosened the screws on, say, a Fender neck that is open here, that's a spot that's unsupported. The neck is unsupported there, so you can shove the neck that away. So having that meat there gives, I think, a much stronger, much more stable neck joint.
Yeah, you've got neck pocket all the way around.
All the way around.
Yeah, from the 18th fret all the way down on both sides.
Yep. But that's not why I do it. That's a good reason to do it, but that's not why I do it.
Okay.
The reason I do it is because aesthetically, I like the way this looks far better than any of the other challengers where the cutaway melted into the neck.
Because that's the way we used to do them.
That is the way we used to do them. And I don't want to say dissatisfied with that, but I was never 100% satisfied with the way they looked. There was, and I don't care what guitar you look at, whether it's a Fender Strat, Fender Tele, or the most expensive Paul Reed Smith that has that kind of cutaway there, where the neck stops being a neck and starts being the side of the guitar. There's a little, the corner, it's not exactly 100% right. There's a little dark patch right there that's full of finish. So I never liked that. And this is where I look on every guitar that I pick up. So I want it to look right. So when Chris and I went through one of the revisions of the Challenger, we added this. And I can't remember, I think that was one of the last things that we changed was the addition of this little thing here. Mm-hmm. It does not slow down your ability to get to, like I said, this part of the heel,
play guitar.
If you can actually play, it doesn't slow you down. This part of the heel meets your hand much. If anything's going to get in your way, it's going to be this part of the heel. Mm-hmm. But again, if you can play, then you don't bitch about it. If you're one of those guys who says, I really think I should have it, well, Ibanez will be happy to build you a guitar.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And Guitar Center's open at 10, and that's okay. There's room for every one of us.
Yeah. Well, and the neck meets the body at the 18th fret on this guitar, which is better than a lot of guitars.
That's true.
So
it's 2 more frets than the Les Paul. Say,
correct. Yes. So right there, you already have, better access.
Yeah.
And the cutaway then comes all the way down to the last fret, the 22nd fret. I mean, it's right there. So if you can't, it's not like you're having to reach over the body to play the 14th fret like an acoustic or a 16th fret.
Bobby Dill, who actually now has more Challengers than anybody. Bobby Dill says, I have Challengers with and without the piece in the cutout. No difference in playing. The new way looks better with binding. And it does. That's the other.
That's the other. I think. Yeah.
When you had binding there, you had to somehow transition the binding in.
And it always got sharp.
Yeah.
The top of the binding got like really pointy and stuff. So.
Yeah. So anyway, so that's a kind of an unusual feature. There are. I'm not the only person who thinks this way.
Yeah.
Some of the original Gibson Les Pauls had this. The guitars from Nags and let's see, all of Joel Danzig's guitars have this in the cutaway. There are some others. If you look up Boutique Instruments or some of those guys, you will be able to see this on many guitars, not just ours. But you might look at it and go, well, why do they do that? The only things that I can think of is, one is aesthetically, I love the way it looks. Okay. And 2, it's a more support around the neck. So our neck also goes almost all the way to the end of the pickup here. So it's a very long neck joint. And I think the way that we do our neck joints is vastly superior to any other kind of neck joint. So anyway, so that's just one kind of cuckoo feature that I thought maybe people might want to know about, and it's on our guitar, so I was able to show it off.
There you go.
But let's talk about some other kind of wacky features that come on guitars, and people might go, why is that there?
Okay.
So, and I think a good one is the Fender Rhythm Circuit. Chris, you probably know more about that than you know more about it than I do. You know as much about it as anybody else. So, what guitars did it come on, and what did it do? And I'll put this away.
So it originally came on the 1958 Jazzmaster when they introduced the Jazzmaster, and it is a separate volume and tone control strictly for the neck pickup on its own on-off switch. But it's a darker. One of the pots is actually quite a bit different in its value, and so it's a darker circuit. So it's not just like playing the neck pickup. in the lead circuit, it's darker. So the idea apparently was back in the olden days, sometimes you needed or sometimes you wanted a rhythm sound. I don't know. And so you can set up that rhythm circuit to just work on. There's a little slider switch that turns the rhythm circuit on and off.
Okay.
And you can have a
So that's
different sound.
One of the
one
little
slider
switches up at the top
up at the
area.
top.
Okay.
Yeah, it's all up on the upper bout
Okay.
of the guitar. A guy named Forrest White introduced it to Leo Fender and said, what do you think of this? And Leo said, yeah, that looks cool. Let's do that.
It is.
The Jazzmaster was the top end guitar. It took over from the Strat.
And it is positively brimming with switches and knobs and gizmos and chrome.
The Jag is actually the one that's got all the chrome
true.
on it. That was the next one. And it has that same circuit on it as well. So apparently somebody liked it well enough because they didn't introduce the Jag until 62. So for 4 years, people dug the rhythm circuit enough that they put it on the next guitar.
Do you think people use the rhythm circuit? Okay, I'm going to ask a question that you can't really ask with 2023 knowledge. Do you think that people use the rhythm circuit when they would go to they were like in the when they weren't soloing, and then they hit the little button and then wee.
Maybe, yeah.
Or they did this.
Get your lips off my
Sorry.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the I think it was just another gadget to have on a guitar, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Oh, that's kind of fun. Oh, that's kind of neat. I have zero use for it. But I know people that do really like it.
Here's another sub question. Do you think it was inspired by the Gibson Les Paul rhythm and treble switch?
Possibly.
I'm in the rhythm position, but now I'm playing treble now. So
yeah,
I'm going to the treble mode.
Yeah, that is the dumbest.
That is
the dumbest description of those
two
things.
Might as well say rhythm and cheese.
Pickle.
Purple. Yeah. Sunshine.
Pickle and
doesn't make a lick of sense. All right, let's take a super chat from Dave the Pious, who says, Chris, I thought that was the kill switch with sideways knobs for decoration.
You can actually turn it all the way down and make it a kill switch.
Okay.
Actually, I've never done. Actually, I did one time. I was playing in a jam, and I borrowed somebody's Jag, and I was strumming so fast, I accidentally hit the switch, and it killed the guitar, and I panicked. I didn't know what was going on. Because on mine, I always leave them up. So if that accidentally happens, it stays on. But anyway.
Let's take some questions.
Kill switch.
Mark Stanton asks, have you ever done an Access heel carve? I think I know what you mean, Mark. And I think you're asking, have we ever done that on our Challenger model? I don't believe we have. However, hold on. Keep talking, Chris.
Here we are. It's our show.
However, the ultralight carve top, as well as the level 1 carve top, has hardly any heel at all. So it is about as Access as you can get.
Yep, because the neck is the same thickness, but the body is thinner, so there's far less heel.
So kind of, but not like what you mean.
Yep.
And somebody wanted to know what we thought of the Tom Anderson wedge neck joint. Hold on, I got to see who that was. Cecil asks, what do you think of Tom Anderson's wedge bolt neck joint? I think it's a great design. What say you, Chris?
I haven't looked at it a whole lot. I looked at one at the show a bunch of years ago and thought, that's a cool idea. That's a cool way to go about it.
I think on the one hand, I think it's a really neat, very well thought out, terrifically engineered solution. On the other hand, to a question that nobody asked. And that's,
I think he probably did it that way just to differentiate his stuff from other people.
Yeah.
Right? Because I think he hasn't always used it.
No, I don't believe so.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. So it's sort of like, well, it's this neat thing. Check it out. It's the new hotness. How is it different? Well, it's this terrifically engineered cool thing that nobody else has.
Yeah.
Oh, what does it do? Well, it holds the neck on.
Yeah.
Okay.
You mean like all those others?
Yeah.
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 All right.
In fact, it might prevent you from the what do you call the UPS adjustment?
Yeah.
What just for the sake of everyone knowing, what is the UPS?
So when you get a Fender guitar and the strings aren't lined up perfectly at the end of the fretboard, you know, the high E string is closer to the end of the fretboard
Yeah.
than the low E string, or vice versa. So the UPS adjustment is you loosen the neck bolts and you tweak the neck a little and you tighten it up and it's done.
Yeah.
Takes, a minute.
So it's
and people freak out and then you tell them how to fix it and they're like, oh.
So it's a bummer when you see that happen, but it's an even bigger bummer when you can't do that because you have this wedge heel shape thing. So, and I'm not saying that Tom Anderson would ever make a guitar that the strings weren't lined up perfectly, but if you did have that QC error, there's no wiggling the neck around in the pocket with that.
Right. And the funny thing is no matter how tight a Fender neck pocket is, because they do have that open end, you can always make the UPS adjustment. I've never seen a single Fender that you couldn't UPS adjust.
Yeah.
You know, no matter how tight the neck pocket is.
Well, that's
where all those dumb cracks come from, is overly tight Fender neck pockets.
I think that is one of the advantages of bolting a neck on. You can, I know everyone cites this. Well, if your neck wears out, you can get a new neck. Cool. Yeah. But if your neck is slightly out of alignment, you can tweak it a little bit one way or t'other. And that's it.
Yeah, and that's not the worst thing.
No.
Yeah.
I would much rather have my strings be in line with my neck than my neck be so tight that I can't move stuff around.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, what are some other cool or kooky or wacky guitar features that people might go, what in the hell is this all about? Someone said robo tuners.
Robo tuners?
Yeah. Now I think that everybody knows what a robo tuner was designed for.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it was executed properly is another thing.
Yeah, I've never played a guitar with them. In theory, it's a really, really rad idea. I really like that idea, but I guess it just didn't work.
So if
for some reason, maybe they tried to put too many features in. I'd be happy if it just tuned itself to standard E.
Sure.
But you could program, and I like the idea of a 12 string with robo tuners.
Now that would be cool.
Yeah, because you spend. With a 12-string guitar, you spend half your time tuning and the other half playing out of tune. So, it would be cool for one of those.
Dan Andradas wants to know, did you get the peanut butter, Matt? As a matter of fact, sir, yes, we got a bunch of peanut butter. How many pounds of peanut butter would you say
I think I'm looking at 6 or 7 jars over there, including one half-gallon tub.
One of them is 9 pounds. And so I think we have 15, 16 pounds of peanut butter right now.
Yeah.
But
it all came rolling in slowly over the weekend. I think, we just sort of spaced it out for today. I was going to mention it, and I spaced it out.
Doc sent us some coffee crisp and some peanut butter. And Joy has been sending me to work with lunch, so I haven't been able to eat a lot of peanut butter. I mean, I could put peanut butter on my,
don't let that stop you.
Turkey sandwich or whatever. I could do that.
We need to get some plastic spoons and do a taste off.
Oh, that's a great idea. Peanut butter taste off. Okay, I love
maybe
the
next
idea.
Thursday.
Maybe, that's a terrific idea. Okay. Let's see. Bobby Dill, Fender and Rick string mute. Great one, Bobby Dill.
Yep.
So I think you were talking about that.
Yeah.
Early on. So what is that feature, and what was it intended to do, and what did it actually do?
The original flip up string mute actually came on the 61 Fender Bass 6.
Okay.
As a way to kind of thump up that instrument.
And that is basically a flip flop.
It's a chrome thing that rocks on it flips up, and it has a piece of foam on top of the chrome, and it hits the bottom of the strings as a mute.
Okay.
And then it was so successful, they stopped putting it on the bass, but they started using a similar one on the Jaguar.
Okay.
As a way, presumably, to get that muted string sound.
Do you think
so
that
popular with the kids?
Do you think that if Leo Fender introduced that in the age of the internet, he would get all sorts of grief about killing the sustain of the guitar? For some reason, sustain is like everybody's like, I gotta have how much? How does it sustain? I don't know. What sort of music are you playing where you like just gotta let that thing hold for however long it is? I think
only Santana needs that one.
Yeah. I think that sustain is terrific, but people make a lot of much ado about it.
I thought the string mute was going to be a really cool thing as a surf guitar player.
Because it's not unheard of for you to palm mute.
Well, yeah, so you palm mute.
Okay.
But the string mute wasn't the same. It didn't sound the same. They were finicky. Sort of gets in the way.
Okay.
So yeah, probably 95% of them get removed.
Did you had a actual vintage Jag, didn't you? That did it have still have the string
No,
mute?
that guitar was a basket case when I got it. But
okay.
The original reissue Jaguars from the early 2000s all came with them, and the first one that I got had it. And I tried to just keep it on because it's a cool big chrome piece and it looks neat. And I eventually took it off.
Okay.
Because it was just in the way. I picked the edge of the foam away, and it was
Okay.
But they look cool, and so one of the things that you do when you want to show off your guitar, your Jag, is you put the mute back on, and when you go to sell it,
look how original everything is.
It also came with a bridge cover. All the Fender stuff had a bridge cover.
Lots of people here are saying that the Fender bridge cover and
ashtrays. And,
someone said, I think it was guys, I'm sorry, I can't remember who it was that said it. That the bridge covers were an indication that Fender did not / could not play.
Probably,
got in the way.
Maybe.
Yeah.
The basses, I guess, for a long time had foam in them, right?
Oh, I
believe so. Yeah, I think some of the original basses to get that upright bass sound.
Okay.
Yeah, a piece of foam was underneath the bridge one. So
okay.
Yeah, that's the way I understand it. Now I don't know if that's true or not. It would make sense that would be why you'd have that cover on there. Although you could have just jammed a piece of foam underneath too. So
absolutely.
I think one of the reasons that they did all that stuff was because they knew all of those adjuster screws and saddles and stuff look a little rinky dink.
So cover it up with a big chrome plate.
Cover it up with a big chrome panel and make it look sharp, even if they know it's never going to get played that way.
Yeah.
So,
what about the let's see. There's lots and lots of kind of wacky features that some guitars come with.
Like a kickstand.
Like a kickstand is something I've never seen.
Something.
Is that so? Tell me more about this.
Fold out kickstand. So the guitar has 2 strap buttons and a cutaway on the bottom of it, so that the guitar will sit. It won't rock back and forth like this.
So it has 2 strap buttons.
It has 2 strap buttons, and then it had a flip out kickstand.
Whoa! A guitar that came with its own stand.
Yeah, and then you can do that. But apparently, it wasn't all that stable, and they'd fall over more often than not. So, but I always thought that was a really good idea.
It is a terrific idea.
Yeah.
That reminds me of people often ask, why does the Dan Armstrong Lucite guitar and bass have 2 strap buttons on the end? And Dan Armstrong, he made no bones about it. He's like, well, when you put your guitar down, it's resting on 2 feet rather than 1 feet.
Yeah, rocking back and forth,
and
falling over. Yeah.
So it makes it slightly more stable.
It's a little off topic, but apparently a new trigger point for a lot of people is pictures of guitars leaned up against an amplifier with the neck against the amplifier.
Tell me more.
Like a glamour shot.
Okay.
Hey, here's my new blah 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 and my deluxe reverb or whatever it is. And you're not to lean your guitar neck against anything.
Let me see if I get this straight. So if I take a picture of my guitar on my amp and my guitar's neck is leaning against my guitar's amp, that's not okay?
Correct.
It's my guitar though.
Correct.
My amp.
Correct. But someday that guitar might not be yours and there might be a dent there.
Okay.
And you will be forever blamed for that dent.
Do you recall there was like a
and you should in fact swing the guitar around and rest it on the string side.
You know, that
because
triggers
won't
me.
do any. Yeah.
Because then that mashes the strings into the frets,
Into
which,
the
as we
frets,
all know,
yeah.
are made of like the softest material in the world.
Uh-huh.
And so they could put dents in my fret there.
Well, and it could also damage the amp with the strings.
So do you recall back in the 80s, I think it was, there was a 1/4-inch plug that you would put into one of, like some amps have like all those different inputs. You put it in one of the inputs in it, but it's like a little guitar stand. That way your neck would kind of fit in like a cradle.
I've never seen that, but I have seen some stuff similar to that. Yeah.
Let's take a super chat from another super chat from Dave, who says, "Correct, Chris. Rick never gave up on the mute. Gave up the mute on the bass." So I don't know what. I'm not 100% sure if anybody's really doing a lot with muting of strings right now. Rickenbacker is definitely holding on to a lot of vintage ideas because people like the vintage Rickenbacker stuff.
Yeah. Well, and you can always take that shit off.
Yeah. What has Rickenbacker done recently? Another off-topic question. What has Rickenbacker done in the last 4 decades that is like radical and new?
I don't know. I don't
Have
pay
they
any
pushed
attention.
I don't either.
Pay any attention to Rickenbacker at all. I love the way they look, but the way they do business turns me off completely. Like in the olden days, you would get like a Guitar Center catalog or a Musician's Friend or a Sam Ash or whatever, and all these beautiful Rickenbackers, and it said call for price.
Call for price.
Well, I don't want to call for price. What's the price? Tell me the price.
Yep.
I hate that. So yeah. And then I thought, I'm going to call and I'm going to go, well, if you have to ask, you can't afford it.
Did they say that?
No.
Oh, okay.
I never called. I'm not going to call. Hey, that's too much. You put that back. I also won't if there's something at a store and it doesn't have price on it, I won't go up and ask. I just won't buy it there.
Yep. Because if you have
I don't want to be the jerk that goes, oh, it's too expensive. Okay, thanks.
if you have the price tag on stuff, people just buy it.
They just buy it.
Yeah.
And then you got to get another one.
You got to get
a price tag on it. It's
a
cruel circle.
have you ever seen the I'm pretty sure it's a real thing. It's somebody put an old car cigarette lighter on the face of a Fender, like a twin reverb or something, on the face. You push it in and it's a cigarette lighter.
Okay.
I think that would be real. No one smokes cigarettes anymore, and I don't smoke cigarettes, but if I had an old Fender amp, I want to put an old the Dodge Dart or whatever it was, push in cigarette lighter. It's not like it wasn't exclusive to Dodge Dart, but I had a Dodge Dart and
Every
it had a buttload of cigarette lighters.
Man, my big Buick has 2 in the back.
Yeah.
For the passengers. Yeah. Yeah. And
I might want one of those little flip out ashtrays too. Again, I don't smoke, but I want it there. I think that'd be cool.
Yeah. Yeah. I've also seen them in the backs of seats in cars, not on the side, but in the actual back of the seat, like a little thing. Yeah, right there. And you need one for each passenger.
Oh yeah.
Back. Yeah.
If you're gonna be smoking and driving, you're gonna Yeah,
you can't just have one. Hey, pass me the cigarette lighter.
Yeah.
Light this cigarette for me.
That.
No, you want to light your own.
Yeah.
Back then.
Show a little class, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Here's one for you. I remember seeing, I believe it was on a 335. It was, there were little tuners. Well, hold on. Obviously, there were guitar tuners because it was a guitar and it needed to be in tune. And it was a Gibson. It was a 335. And it had these little fold-out arms that became string winders. It was little cranks.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember those?
No, I've never seen that.
Yeah, so it was a little fold-out thing on each tuner that allowed you to crank it rather than go like this. You could kind of wind it like a string winder. Yeah. I can't imagine anybody would go, well, why is that a feature? But I can't imagine why no one does that anymore. Hipshot could do that with actual tuner buttons that you could replace. Ooh, you know what? Maybe we should call Josh and see if he can make those for us.
Yeah.
You heard it here first. Okay.
Look for those next year at NAMM.
Let's take another super chat. Guys, Dave the Pious' super chat game is on point.
Oh, good.
Dave asks,
hey, Dave.
Or says, Rick has the ground wire on the mute plate, so it has to be connected to the bridge. Ask me how I know. How do you know? Rickenbacker has like all these kind of kooky, very peculiar to Rickenbacker features. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, the little bit that I know about them, they are quite quirky.
There's no humbucker on a
Yeah.
Rickenbacker. There's no the pickups don't mount like any other guitar, and everything is different.
They don't want people using their stuff for anything else.
No.
I know that.
Joe McCarthy says that he quit smoking 34 years ago. Recently found out that he had emphysema and cancer. Don't smoke. Well, Joe, that's not fun. I'm sorry to hear that. I wasn't saying that I wanted a cigarette lighter on my amp because I wanted to start smoking. I just think it would be a funny thing to.
I just converted to a phone charger.
Not me, baby. Although that would be
in my
good too.
car.
I want something vintage and retro. I want it. Yeah, I want it to be like if Joliet Jake came to my amp, he wouldn't have to say fix a cigarette lighter. Just saying.
There you go. I'd like light fireworks with it.
Sure.
Right there in the bar.
There you now you're talking.
Maybe not.
Yeah, get us some more hitters.
2 more, sir.
All right. Thank you. Okay, you got any? How about you, Chris? You got any more?
No,
any more
I'm
cool?
I'm trying to think of some stuff.
I should have told you this is what I wanted to talk about.
Yeah, I'd have thought about it the whole day.
Yeah.
Instead of just right now.
So, can you guys think of any? Oh, there's another Coors Light even. Oh, God bless you, Butch. Thank you so much.
Yeah, well, so I'm trying to think of the truly goofy shit that nobody likes.
How about this one? Let's talk more about the Dan Armstrong.
Okay.
One of my all-time favorite guitars and basses. The original basses didn't have this, but the reproduction basses did, and that is the slide in or push in, slide out pickup.
Yeah,
which was super cool, except there wasn't a lot of pickup options.
No, I think the guitar came with, or there were 3 options, right? There was like a rock country, and
I think there were 2 that came with the guitar. I think
it came with 2, but I think there was another one that you could buy or something like that from what I've read.
I know that my reissue bass came with 2, and one was like a DB and a BB.
Yeah,
I got basic bass and deep bass. I can't remember what it was, but yeah. But
I thought that was a really
I've never
cool
changed
idea. So yeah,
it was a neat idea, but executed again, kind of like, well, if there were, it'd be really neat. Oh, I want to slide in. Of course, at the time, there was no such thing as an aftermarket pickup industry.
Yeah.
So if you came out with that feature today, and you said, well, but it's going to be only stuff that we make. What do you mean? I can't put a Dylan DAF in there?
Yeah.
No, you can't. You got it. Well, who would want that?
Yeah.
So
Dylan's got that guitar that has that plug-in.
That's a pretty cool thing. Yeah.
Put all those different pickups in it. That's really cool. I like that a lot. And I'm sure you've seen that picture of the kind of telly-looking guitar with the wheel of pickups, and you can turn it, and it engages each one. For like a pickup winder kind of a guy.
That'd be neat.
It'd be neat, or a store display. That would be pretty cool to see, because a lot of times it would be neat to be able to play stuff literally back to back, and that's the cool thing about the Dan Electro thing too, is because it's kind of selective hearing. By the time you switch it out,
even though it's quick,
playing,
you're
like, okay, but with the Dan Electro or the wheel of pickups, wheel of pickups. Just look at these fabulous pickups. It would be cool to just go back to back and hear the actual differences. So
let's take a super chat from Corey, who says, "Go to the vintage shop." Yes, sir.
Hey, Corey.
Go to the vintage shop and get yourself one of those beanbag ashtrays. Grandma Kapruki had one of those on the table.
Beanbag ashtrays.
Remember those kind? It was an ashtray that sat in it, so it would you could put it on any uneven surface, and it didn't. Yeah. So you guys are they're coming in fast and furious. Some of the features that maybe Richard Ryan says that you could always use the cigarette lighter to charge your phone, and you could. But I like the vintage. And by the way, hi Richard, I haven't talked to you for a while, but I do like the idea of a cigarette lighter, even if I don't use it, because I think it's a funny thing to have
on your amp,
right by the great big blue jewel light. Okay. Chris, you have the fighting spirit.
I do.
According to Beavis.
It's true.
Tom wants to know the hootenanny strap on the back of the headstock. Great one. What is the big deal? And you know where I think it was the quirkiest instrument to have the hootenanny strap? I think the jazz bass or the P bass, and there was always
Yeah.
one back there.
Yeah, and it came for years.
Yeah.
Into the 70s, I think it came with that strapped button on the back of the headstock. I think it was to stop neck dive.
Well, you know
That's
what?
the way to stop neck dive on an SG,
That's-
guys. Just put a strap button right there in the middle of the between the two E's.
So I've been getting some emails about. I really love the new lightweight Challengers. How's the neck dive? And I'm like, well, I have never. You need to ask one of the guys who has one. Point A. Point B. I have never thought it's been an issue, but that guitar is fairly compact. Whereas like an SG joins the body at the 22nd fret, the Challenger joins at the 18th fret. And it's not particularly neck heavy because the ultralights have mahogany necks instead of maple necks, et cetera, et cetera. But neck dive is one of those things that I think people spend a lot of time worrying about. And, somehow or another, Angus Young managed to play for however many decades with the horribly neck diving SG. But he also wasn't doing this a lot. He was jumping around like a wild man.
Yeah.
But
keep your hands on the guitar.
Keep your hands on the guitar.
You'll be fine. Even just a hand.
But you're right. You're right. Doesn't matter. Yeah,
it can be either one.
Now, Thunderbird bass might be more of a neck divey.
Basses are always a little more divey, I think.
Yeah, you need to get that strap button around the 12th fret. And I've seen guys do this to Thunderbird. They've got a modification where they put an extra long screw through like a piece of like a not dowel but
copper tubing,
tubing,
steel,
so that they shove the strap button out 2-3 inches, and it works great. It
Apparently
looks
that was
funny.
a thing when they designed the original P bass. That's the reason the horn is the way the horn is. Was they started out with kind of a telly shaped body, and that became an issue, and so they extended that horn until it no longer did it.
No sweat.
There you go.
But you know what would have worked just as well?
Hootenanny
strap. Yeah, that's right. Hootenanny strap button.
Yep. Well, and back then, so you got is it Buddy Lee? Is that the brand of strap, or an Ace?
Buddy
strap?
Lee wasn't it the Man of Action?
It was, yeah. But an Ace strap, those straps.
Were they kind of slick on the back?
Well, they were kind of a slick leatherette with that woven.
I know what you're talking about.
Hootenanny straps.
I like the way those look.
Oh, they look great, but they are. Yeah, if you want something to slide all over, that's the strap to use. The only straps slidey are those dumb nylon Dunlop.
Yeah,
straps.
they're like not quite seatbelt material, but not quite not that.
Yeah. If you want to learn how to throw a guitar over your shoulder, that's the strap to use.
You and I need to go across the street and talk with Matt at Hunter Leather. Finally, we need to do this about the Texas Toast guitar straps.
Yeah.
Because what I should be able to say when people ask, how's this guitar with neck dive? No problem at all with neck dive. Nope. It comes with one of our guitar straps.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
See,
that wasn't the answer I thought you were going to say.
Oh, what did you thought I was going to say?
It's no problem with the Texas Toast strap.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Next time, buy a Texas Toast strap.
So here is, there's a lot of things I'm missing out on.
Good Lord.
So here's one though that what about coil splits? Now, I think, Jeffrey, what you mean when you say coil splitting is using only one coil of a humbucking pickup. Now, coil tapping, a lot of people get these mixed up. I'm not saying Jeffrey did, but because he did say coil splitting, not coil tapping, but a lot of people say things like tapping the coil, and what they mean is just using one coil of a humbucker. But that's not what it is. Tapping a coil it's the same coil, it's just got more or less wire depending on where you have your switch location. But yeah, what about in and out of phase and coil splitting and coil tapping? And of all those things, what makes the most sense? And of all those things, what makes the least sense, Chris?
For me, if I can get, I expect one good sound out of a guitar for me to keep it. If I get 2 good sounds out of it, I'm really happy. If I get 3 good sounds out of it that I can use, then I'm over the moon.
Yeah.
But really, 2 sounds and I'm good to go. A lot of that stuff changes the overall sound of it so much that I can't use those sounds in conjunction with the other ones. You know, like series parallel. As much as I like the idea of that one, I just can't. It just doesn't work.
It's almost like having we've done this before where this is a fairly common modification. Put a super hot bridge pickup in a Telecaster and shove a TV Jones in the neck. Everyone who I've talked to that's done that has been disappointed with that mod. If all you, but remember, you got to put a TV Jones, what is it, a Filtertron in the neck, a standard Filtertron, and a super hot neck, a bridge pickup in.
Yeah.
There's no position where you can switch back and forth where you don't get either the mud tone or ice pick in the ear.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, so I think one of the cool things is coil tapping. I think is a terrific thing, especially if you have a guitar with only one pickup. So an Esquire should always have a tapped coil.
Yeah, that's a fun way to go. And so instead of having a Telecaster with a hot bridge pickup and a Filtertron in the neck, sounds like the perfect opportunity for another guitar.
It does. Yeah.
And 2 Filtertrons. Yeah, there you go.
We should make some challengers with Filtertrons. I wonder if anybody would buy those.
I don't know. Well, I think Filtertrons are neat looking. They're really retro looking. And,
they're cool.
And I think they sound good too. So.
John says that he would buy some straps from the TTG straps and with Hunter leather. So, John, what you need to know is that I've actually got I'm in discussions with the guys over at Hunter Leather. We're having a stamp made that says Texas Toast Guitars, and they're gonna get us set up. So, Lefty O says an Esquire should have a secret agent pickup. Now that would be cool.
So I want to build, and maybe I shouldn't say this.
Go ahead.
But I want to build an Esquire with one of those Glendale no pickup bridges with a secret agent in it, so that it looks like it has no pickups at all.
But then you plug it in, and you start wailing.
I'm actually thinking about what if you made a pickup that went underneath that Glendale bridge with a bunch of big magnets, so that whole thing was magnetized. I wonder what you could do with something like that.
Maybe we should see if Dylan wants to get in on this gag and do that with us. That'd be fun.
That would be fun.
Okay. All right. So did we decide if like coil or splitting the coils of a humbucker is a good feature, in phase, out of phase?
Some people really
on
like
top
that
of phase.
stuff.
I have a bunch of blue dye.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
And yet I'm the one that did all the painting.
I know. What about so of those features, splitting and shifting and Jimmy and coil? What do you think any of them have any merit?
For some people they do. For me, no. I like just standard. I'm mostly a bridge pickup guy, and then on 2 pickup guitars, I like both pickups.
I tell you what,
I'm rarely a neck only guy.
When we built those Marauders,
oh yeah,
we played those tuned down to D, out of phase, and man, they sounded cool.
Yeah,
but that was the only time.
It adds a little oomph to it. Usually, out of phase is kind of tinny and thin, right? Yeah, that did actually work. I forgot about that.
So that would be if you're in a Fu Manchu tribute band, you want to have the rhythm circuit and the in phase, out of phase thing.
Series parallel.
Yeah.
Those guitars did everything.
They did everything.
But nothing was marked, so you had to know
you
exactly.
Didn't know, yeah.
Otherwise, it was just, I like this sound when this is up and that's down. This is slid over there. That's cool. And it had a kill switch.
It did.
Just in the middle of a bunch of switches.
For no reason.
Okay.
Lefty O says a no pickup electric guitar would be killer. Well, at that point, wouldn't it be an acoustic guitar?
Well, no, I think a visually no
pickup, solid body.
Looking guitar.
Okay.
Yeah. What the hell's going on?
What the hell?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, Sarah says that her dad Butch is in the workshop, and where did Butch get to? He
ran off.
Okay,
we'll do that one again.
We'll do that one again. Sorry. Someone's talking about getting a root canal. Joe says that he has a build started with a TTG body, Beetle Kill Pine, TTG neck, and Dylan Talks Tone Esquire style pickup, complete with wiring for an Esquire. That will be cool. I love the single pickup Esquires. That's
Beetle
cool.
Kill Pine.
That's got to be an old body. Okay. There's a lot of dental things happening on the Doc is here, so everyone's trying to get free dental advice. So yeah, why not?
Hey Doc, look right here.
You know, when Doc's come out, he has
I've never done that once to him.
he does. He's like, yeah, well, you've got all the tools. Let's go ahead and do a root canal. That's what he said to me.
Yeah. Just lower the pin router here. Hold still.
Now we don't have any of the anesthesia. We have
all
the same tools.
You've always said I can just take off just a tick.
Hey Butch, do you know someone named Sarah? Yeah. She says that her dad's here in the workshop this week, and she says, "Hey, that's cool. Thanks for watching, Sarah. Your dad is doing a terrific job this week." And
once we got him in line, he was a little rowdy.
He was a little rowdy. No, he's good, and he brings beer every day. So happy meal for me. Okay. So Chris, tell me what the reveal tomorrow is going to be about, because I'm running out of like wacky.
It's going to be 8 really cool Fender style
Really,
guitars.
8?
I think 7.5. I don't
know. Are we putting together that one, or are we just gonna?
We're gonna send that on parts.
Okay, so we're just gonna be able to go.
Well, so
hey, look at this neat thing we kind of made.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Okay, so we don't actually have to put a guitar together.
Excelente. Okay, so it's gonna be 7.5 guitars. 7.5.
Yep.
Let's take a super chat from Doc, who says, "Thanks to Chris for all the paint instruction this week." That's nice of you, Chris. Tomorrow is paint day for Doc. That's cool, man. What sort of thing is he working on? And Steven wants to know, does anybody know why I never see walnut fretboards? Well, Steven, you do see walnut fretboards. As a matter of fact,
2 weeks ago.
Yeah. You should see more of them.
Yeah.
So anyway,
I think it's cool. I think it's a great fretboard.
I think it makes a terrific
fretwood board.
Yeah.
Fretboard wood.
So anyway, so Doc is doing paint. What's he painting?
I think he's working on his $400 guitar challenge.
Ooh, cool.
Challenge guitar.
I'm actually going to work on mine a little bit in the next week or so.
I have actually done some preparation work on mine. So
I think it's going to come down to the wire for you and I, isn't it?
You think?
I think so.
Yeah. That's on a Saturday. And it's Saturday afternoon.
It's going to be at Saturday afternoon. Odyssey Beer Works, the Great American Beer Works, during their 10th anniversary barbecue.
Oh, okay. For the Mud Club.
Yep. And it's going to be a lot of fun. Jimmy's going to be there. Brian Duncan's going to be there. Anthony Angelo's going to be there.
They're going to.
Chris is going to be there.
Judging, right?
Yes, they are.
Yeah, that's cool.
So we thought, well, we could have it here at the shop, but why don't we just have it at Odyssey Beer Works, which is like 2 miles that way?
That's way better because then we don't have to clean.
We do have to clean.
We do have to clean now because
we have to clean twice.
Again.
Yeah, that's right.
We have to clean again because then the class starts the Monday after. That. Yeah, that's gonna be. Jeez.
It's gonna be a long weekend, sir.
That's the August class.
Yes.
Oh Lord.
Yeah.
Okay.
Paul Hall says he's just waiting for the Uber. He'll see us. Paul, don't go to Odyssey tonight. We're going to Los Tres Garcias.
Yeah,
he knows. Okay. All right. Joe says he's thinking of changing vendors for pore fill. Thinking of changing vendor for pore filler, sealer, color, and clear. Any suggestions? Chris, what's the one word suggestion you have for Joe?
Simtech.
Thank you. Yeah.
Well, maybe we'll talk a little bit about this tomorrow because this is the first class that we've used the new UV Simtech pore filler for a Fender build, a classic Fender class.
Okay.
And we'll talk a little bit about the difference in the finish between the previous classes and this one.
Okay.
Because it's a big one.
So it's going to be kind of a long reveal because we've got 7 guys here. We're going to drag all of them up and talk to each one of them.
Yep.
Talk about what cool stuff they got to do.
Some of them are kind of big mouth, so
I know, right, Jim?
Rattle.
Yeah.
Okay, are you done? Rattle. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. I was just looking at Jim, so yeah. Because we all know that I meant Thornton. Yeah. Okay. All right. So, some people are asking what time the actual $400 guitar building contest is going to start, and Joyce said that it will probably be later in the afternoon. So yeah, I'm thinking 3-ish.
I was thinking 3 or 4. Yeah.
So it'll go all night. So yeah, I mean, come ready to party, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Well.
Yeah. Leave the kids at home because it's at Odyssey.
Yeah. Bring the dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell the old lady I'm coming home late.
Oh, and I even got another. I got another money
Entry?
today. Well, it was Candle actually, and I hope Candle comes because I
That'd
haven't
be
seen it for a while.
Yeah.
So anyway, so Candle sent money, and she's like, I'm trying to build something. I'm having a really fun time doing it. And you know what else? She sent us an extra $25.
Oh yeah.
That's right. So you know what I said from the beginning? Candle said go buy some beer with it.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what I said from the beginning is all the money from the entry fees go to pay out the winner. So somebody's going to win something. It's not going to end with zero.
A whole stack of hundos
and $25.
extra.
Yeah. So thank you to Candle for saying that, for doing that. So yeah, cool. So I'm, full disclosure. Anyway, it was funny because I got the letter and I thought it was from Candle because she's a scientist. She's an engineer, and so that writing is very clear and very little. So,
Good Lord.
Yeah. Greg Pearl sent us a super chat. He says, "Glad to hear it's going to be at Odyssey." Greg Pearl is going to come, and
cool.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to seeing him. That's
I'm fully expecting a bunch of people to show up with $100 bill and a guitar.
I think that Driddle's going to do that. He says, "What time should contestants have their entries submitted?" Well, I mean, like, let's say that's a 3:00 on Saturday, the whatever.
Soon,
yeah.
I think as soon as things kick off,
Mm-hmm.
if you're there, you're entered.
NSJ Guitars says, Matt, will some of the contest results be filmed? I think like a lot of the stuff from the.
We're gonna try. Yeah,
last
year, man.
Driddle says he's gonna be driving in from Montana.
We filmed a bunch, and it all looked terrible for some reason.
Did it?
Was just
Okay.
A bad internet day.
Oh.
Yeah, and it was kind of a bummer, but
it did that staticky
yeah,
thing.
Hopefully this year that won't happen. Can't, yeah. What did you say, Murphy? Murphy can't strike twice. Yeah.
It's impossible for the same thing to happen 2 times. You can't lose them all.
You can't lose them all unless you're the Denver Broncos.
Yeah.
In the 90s.
Dylan said he's going to be here to help doing filming because the workshop starts on the following Monday. That's going to be great. We're going to have a lot of work. That's going to be such a fun week and weekend. Now, you're going to need a liver appreciation day before and after, but it's going to be fun.
That's
okay. All right. So, guys, we are going to go to the something that we do once a week with all the workshop guys. We're going to go have some dinner, and then we're going to go over to my place and have a nightcap or some beers. I don't know what we're going to have fun, but it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm having such a good time with all these guys. All these dudes are super cool guys. We haven't had any dicks come to these workshops. It's like we're like super lucky.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
So everybody who comes to these is super cool, and we all have a good time. I like to think that it's you and your influence and your positive attitude.
I like to think so too.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So anyway, and I'm looking forward to showing off all the guitars tomorrow, talking about where everybody came from, because the farthest anyone's ever come to one of these is Paul Hall, and you're going to get to meet Paul tomorrow. You're going to get to meet everybody.
Fort Collins.
From Fort Collins.
Yeah,
that's right.
Colorado.
Yeah,
no.
Yeah, that guy came
different guy.
All right, gang. Well, so we will see you tomorrow for the reveal at 5:00, unless something goes horribly wrong. You'll still see us at 5, right?
Yeah.
It's just going to be scurrying around to make things work.
Maybe.
I don't anticipate.
I'm pretty sure we're going to be 100% solid.
Yeah. So thanks to all the sponsors. I'm sorry I didn't get to you tonight. We just kind of got busy, and you know what? Shit happens. Then who are you going to call?
Ghostbusters.
Thank you. All right, gang. So, wait, we got another super chat. This one is from Joe, who says, "Fun night, folks." Thank you. God bless you, Joe. So, guys, we will see you tomorrow for the reveal. Check out Dylan and Leslie at Dylan Talks Tone. They're going to be taking us home tonight for the final hour and change, or whatever, however long they're doing it, of the Primetime Guitar Live. It's so much fun to hang out with you guys. Chris, you know what? It's fun to hang out with you too.
Thanks, Matt.
Yeah.
I think so too.
All right, gang. We will see you tomorrow. We're going to go get our Mexican food on at Los Pendejos. All right. Take care, everybody.